In the narrow, fertile valleys that lie cradled in the undulating hills, livestock and agriculture flourish. Fertile soil and bountiful rainfall nourish a wide diversification of crops. Broadleaf tobacco plants flourish in open fields, rated among the nation's finest.
Beyond the obvious challenges to American agriculture, such as economics and weather, are those that are less seen in changes to the American culture at large. Farmers have always selected crops that would provide them with the biggest dividends. Over the years, some crops have remained popular, such as soybeans and corn. Others have risen and fallen in popularity, but none so much as tobacco.
There's a wonderful world of softness, a wonderful world of freshness. It's the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful world of Salem cigarettes.
You just can't beat a Lucky Strike.
Winston's easy drawing too. The filter lets the flavor through. Winston tastes good like a cigarette
Decades ago, tobacco was seen throughout the valley.
Well, the farm in my lifetime was originally a dairy, and then economics drove us out of the dairy business, and we started grain farming and tobacco.
That was a period in which tobacco played a larger role in the American culture.
Join the big swing to Chesterfield King, new choice of the men of America.
You too will find Lark, richly rewarding yet uncommonly smooth.
In the Southeast and Midwest, residents are familiar with another form of tobacco advertising, the mail pouch barn, of which there are plenty in the Kanawha Gateway. Mail pouch is a chewing tobacco first produced by Block Brothers of Wheeling. Farmers got their barn painted free of charge, and the company got the advertising it wanted. By the 1970s, the dangers of tobacco became better known. TV ads were banned, and mail pouch barns could no longer be repainted due to strict new tobacco advertising laws. This marked a precipitous decline in tobacco usage that affected local farmers.
The government went from supporting the production of it to not supporting it. They bought us out of it. However, people are still using it. There's still a market for it. The tobacco companies say the market share that they're losing in America, they're picking up overseas, Asia and Europe. The landscape of tobacco has changed quite a bit, and naturally every year it's always a fear of mine that are we going to take a crop to the market and not have a market for it.
Sheep and lambs grow fat on the rich blue grass, producing meat and wool.
Gone with tobacco in the region are sheep. Once sheep used to fill the valley as prominently as cattle, but sadly became the victim of an unfortunate set of circumstances. In the 1970s, the federal government released coyotes into the region to repopulate the species. The coyotes decimated sheep herds, and farmers here had to stop raising them altogether.
But these rich hills make excellent pasture land, where cattle grow fat and sleek on grass. Put on the weight and supply the milk that make livestock and livestock products one of the state's leading agricultural commodities. Fine purebred calves are selected to build the dairy herds.
A significant change in the region's agriculture is the decline of dairy farms. As late as the 1950s and 60s, dairy farms dominated the landscape.
Back when I was a kid, there was a lot of dairies in Mason County, I think over 100 at one time, and now I think it's 12 to 15 dairies in the entire county. So it has certainly changed a lot.
When I was going through high school here, and I've lived here all my life, if you traveled the valley, either the Ohio River or Kanawha River, there were basically dairy farms at every farm. It was full of them, and now I can't give you an exact total, but I know there's less than 15 in the whole county.
It's expensive to operate a dairy because they're labor intense, and that's a 7-day, 24-hour-a-day job, and people want to get away from that. And it's gone to the mega dairies now where they will milk thousands of them, and that sort of put the small dairy out of business.
There's still dairies that survive in this county, and milk prices a couple years ago were up, I think, around $20 per hundredweight. Now I'm told it's 12 or 14.
Replacing the dairy farms to a limited extent is the practice of raising what are called feeder calves. These are calves born in the late winter or early spring and fattened for 8 to 12 months on pasture land. They are then sent to huge feedlots in the Midwest, where they are fattened for a few months more and then slaughtered at the same facility. This exchange of farming styles has transformed the look of valley farming.
Jobs, too. Work for the men and women whose expert fingers strip the heavy-laden branches. Work for the hundreds of men and women who flock to the packing houses and byproduct factories. And work for the men who drive the rich harvest to market.
One of the big challenges today is labor. Of course, all the new technology has changed all of that till a few people can do a tremendous amount of work. There just isn't the labor around to do it like they used to do.
The long hours and hard work put into a day at the farm have created a dearth in the number of people interested in such work. Tradition has always had it that farmers need only look to the next generation for their proper heirs. But a cultural shift has happened. Many farmers are worried for the first time in generations that their children will not be interested in taking over the family farm. Like their parents before them, they try to indoctrinate their children in the agricultural lifestyle. Their success in winning their children's hearts is waning in a world that offers easier career paths and modern pleasures.
If my kids were to come back, they'd have a job elsewhere. They'd have to continue in the trend that I'm in. I don't foresee being able to put together the large enough operations so they'll have to come in, they'll have to have jobs off the farms.
My concern with this valley is what I see is very few young people coming into the business. You know, I'm by no means a young man anymore, and I'm one of the younger dairymen that are working the area right now.
My son, he's got other employment, and it, in a way, I guess if you're looking for just a dollar bill, he can make more in a month's time than you can farming, you know.
Of course, all I have to do is look at the Toyota plant within sight of the farm here and see what's happened to my neighbors, and those farm neighbors have basically disappeared.
It has become evident to Kanawha Gateway farmers that a transition is necessary. Just as their grandfathers made the switch to automation, they must make changes to adjust to the variables over which they can have some power.
There's an edge out here I'm trying